Good afternoon. We are extremely pleased that you are here. It is nice to come together for the purpose of co-creating, is it not? We are wanting to put it into that perspective, for we are wanting you to remember that this is far more than a gathering of question and answer. What brings you here? What it is you are wanting? It's good for you to stop as we are beginning and give thought to what it is you are wanting in this segment of life experience. It is good to look at it from the inside out, rather than from outside in, or what should I do? That is the way most physical beings approach things, is it not? You have come forth into physical bodies, you have physical perspective. In fact, you have only physical perspective. And so we are not picking on you when we are noticing that you are physically or action-oriented. But as you are here today, it is our wanting that you will come to a clearer understanding of what is really making things happen in your experience. And in order to be very clear about that, it is necessary that you leave behind many of the old beliefs, such as action is what makes the difference in your experience, and come to a new way of looking at it, which is you are a magnet. You are attracting into your experience by virtue of the way you are thinking and the way you are feeling. We ordinarily meet with quite a bit of resistance when we are speaking to someone for the first time. As we say, there is not another that can create in your experience. And so everything that is happening or has happened or will happen to you is coming by virtue of your thought and corresponding feeling. Some are eager to take the credit when good things are coming. But as there are those things that they are not wanting, then they say, but Abraham, surely I would not have done this to you. And we say, indeed you have. We didn't say you did it on purpose. But it is our absolute knowing that you are the attractor into your experience. And until you are able to understand that, until you really know that, you do not have deliberate control of your own experience. So you have freedom, whether you are deliberately creating or not. You are so free, in fact, that every thought that you think begins the process of attraction into your experience. You cannot be freer than that, are you aware? You are so free that every time you offer a thought, law of attraction, which is most powerful law in the universe, goes to work upon it. It begins, or you begin, your attraction of it into your experience. Are you aware of electricity? Not understanding it fully. In fact, we have not met one of you who understands it fully. But you utilize it very well. And as your electricity surges through the walls of your homes, you plug your appliances in toward whatever ending you are seeking. Agreed? In like manner, there is a current that runs through your universe, even into your physicalness, even into your physical body. But you do not plug into that. You are already plugged in. But the way you utilize that electricity or energy or life force is by contouring it with your thought. Every time you offer a thought, it is equivalent to plugging your toaster in, so to speak. And so what you are living right now is the balance of thought you have been offering. Of course, word is continuation of thought, and action is continuation of thought. And so all that you are living is expressing. You are offering a meaning to the universe. Are you aware of it? Do you understand that the universe does not understand your language, but that you are speaking a language other than the one you think you know to the universe? In other words, the way you feel, that is your dialogue to the universe. Sometimes we see our physical friends using words that mean one thing, when what the universe is hearing is something else. And that is where the great confusion comes in. They will say to us, Abraham, I have wanted this for as long as I can remember. Do not tell me that wanting attracts into your experience, because I have wanted and it has escaped me year after year. And we say the universe is responding to the meaning that you are offering. And very often, the meaning that you are exuding is in opposition. We'll give you some examples, and then we will open it to you to talk about whatever you are wanting. Do you have a picture of this non-physical energy that is coming into you? As Esther was laying on a raft in the sunshine, she said, I can feel the sunshine, that energy, but it is not easy to feel the energy. And we said, oh, that is because you always have had access to it. You are so used to it. It's like your air. You don't walk into a room and say, there is air in here. You would notice if you walked in and there wasn't any, however. And the non-physical energy, you are sort of numb to that also. But what we are wanting you to do is to envision yourself as the receiver of this non-physical energy. And so you are utilizing it all of the time. How are you utilizing it? As you say, oh, I would really like to have that, but I can't afford it. We say you are taking the non-physical energy of the universe, and in that moment, with that statement, you are pointing it toward the lack of what you are wanting. When you say, I don't feel good today, or I am too tired, or things never go my way, or it is a hard life, or any of the things that you hear around you, you are at that time taking the non-physical energy of the universe and you are sending it usually towards something you do not want, or lack of something you do want. As we have observed our physical friends, we have noted, now it is never fair to throw you all into one kettle. And we do not do it for a point of judging, we do it for a point of observation. But we have noticed that the majority of thought, word, and action that is offered by our physical friends is offered toward the lack of what they are wanting rather than toward what they are wanting. And we have also noticed that without exception, every time you focus upon the lack of something you want, especially if it is something that is important to you, you feel negative emotion about it. And yet you do it anyway. And so we have concluded that you must not understand what negative emotion means. You must not understand the guidance system that you understood as you emerged into these bodies. Otherwise, whenever you felt negative emotion, you would stop and say, wait a minute, this is important, otherwise I would not be feeling anything. And secondly, I am focused in opposition to what I am wanting. What is it that I am wanting? Your guidance system is with you in every moment of your experience, telling you at all times what your balance of thought is that you are offering right then. And is that not the only thing that is important, is what you're doing right now? Can you change what you did yesterday, or the year before, or the lifetime before? Or is all of your power right here in your now? Are you right now making the decision about what you're going to plug in to the non-physical energy? Now, what we are wanting you to understand is that you have thought many thoughts, and some of those thoughts became habitual. We call those beliefs, those thoughts that you keep thinking, even though they no longer apply to what you are wanting or where you are wanting to go, but you sort of out of repetitive mannerism, it is typical of physicalness. You develop this pattern of action and of thought, and as a result, because you keep giving that sort of message out, a sort of habitual message, you keep, for the most part, pretty much creating the same thing. And we hear that from you as you say, I've had 10 husbands and they all treated me just the same. You're getting the point. So much of your experience does not change, and that is only because you have not discovered the very simple process of changing the balance of your thought. As we talk about deliberate creation and about the power of thought, sometimes we send our physical friends upside down. It really frightens them. They feel the awesome responsibility of controlling thought. And we say, don't worry about it. We're not suggesting that you monitor every thought and change all of your habits or patterns of thinking. What we are suggesting is that you keep paying attention to what you're living, and if there is something that you are not liking, that you stop thinking about it. Further, that you think about what you would like instead and give your attention to that so that you can become the magnetic attractor of what you are wanting. You do not have to turn your whole apple cart upside down and resort everything. The patient rarely lives through such dramatic operation. You only have to decide feeling by feeling, moment by moment, how you're doing. And you know how you're doing by the way you are feeling. We do not encourage a monitoring of thought that would drive you crazy, for you are very receptive beings, receiving stimulation of thought from one another, even non-physical beings. What we are encouraging is that you pay attention to the way that you feel. And when you do not feel good, that you give conscious attention to what it is that is on the other side of that. It is not difficult. It is very simple. If you do it one thought at a time, one moment at a time, one feeling at a time. The only time it becomes very difficult is if you have allowed yourself to reach great negativity. Then pivoting is a little bit more difficult. Let us hear from you. What are you wanting to talk about? There is no order of business here. And so we encourage you as you are moving through this gathering to speak what comes to your mind. For many of you are receiving from one another. Many of you are receiving from your non-physical counterparts. And we are wanting you to understand that this gathering is literally co-creation at its best. It has never been before unto all of the universe. Are you aware? This group of physical and non-physical minds coming together has never before been. It holds many benefits for all of us. For it is certain that we will go beyond not just what you understand as you are asking your question, but it is certain that today we will go beyond that which has been chewed about in any gathering, in any dimension. You are following? Today, as we are here together, we are satisfying our reason for existence, physical and non-physical, for we are experiencing growth.
Previous tape, one that I have been sent, you talked about directing energy to, or you directed energy to someone to heal them. And although you said you weren't a healer, you were teaching them how to do that. And I have had an experience last week of doing that, of being able to direct energy to a pretty bad condition that I was healed overnight. Yet when I tried to do that to other parts of my body that were in pain, it didn't work. And I did the very same thing. I don't know.
What is the difference in your expectation of the conditions? In other words, can you see that in one there was more belief or more wanting than the other?
No. As a matter of fact, when this happened, I thought, well, I've got the key now. I can.
You do.
Make it work. But it hasn't. So.
All things, as you are in the process of creating anything, whether you are attracting something that you are wanting to you or releasing something that you do not want from you, if you will understand that over 99% of the creation is complete before you see any physical evidence of it, then that explains the difference in the perceived time of manifestation. In other words, as you are setting forth your thought, here is the way it works. As you receive the non-physical energy, and we're not wanting to sound metaphysical. Someone said, Abraham, you're sounding so metaphysical, and we say, it is difficult to express into physical terms that which is non-physical, and if that sounds metaphysical, then so be it. For as you are here in this physical body, you are not only created by and supported by this non-physical energy, but it is the stuff that is the current behind all things physical or non-physical. As you see yourself utilizing or receiving the non-physical energy, and you receive it and send it purely in the direction of something that you are wanting, you have very speedy results. But as you take the non-physical energy and you send it in opposing directions, then you slow your process. Or if you take any portion of it and send it in opposing direction, then it slows it a little.